Hey guys, what's up? My name is Chaotic and welcome back to another Grand Theft Auto 5 video here on my channel. Now in today's video, I'm going to be discussing the prices of all the new content coming to GTA Online in the Smuggler's Run update, including the 11 new aircrafts, the 2 new vehicles we know about so far, and the new purchasable hangars. Now I do want to make it very clear, as I'm making this video, there is no official price list available as of right now. Rockstar hasn't announced or confirmed anything, there's no leaked price list as far as I'm aware of, or anything along those lines, so all the prices I'm going to be discussing in this video are simply just speculation based upon previous content available in GTA Online. And in fairness, I've done videos like this in the past for other updates, and my guesses have been pretty close. So hopefully once again, we can speculate the estimated prices of the new content. So with that being said, let's get straight into things then and start off with this first aircraft. Okay then, so up first is this one. As of right now, we don't have an official name for this particular aircraft, but in real life, it's based upon the Messerschmitt 163 Komet, which was a World War II aircraft first in production in 1944. Now, as you guys can see, the propeller on the front is tiny. It's actually a jet-powered aircraft and will most likely, by the looks of things, have rockets, as you guys can see on the left-hand side of the image. It also has a hatch on the bottom, most likely making this an aircraft we can drop bombs with. And it may also have a machine gun in the front propeller. There seems to be a small hole, which I'm guessing might be for that use, but I'm not really too sure. This plane, though, by the looks of things, is fairly small. It wasn't really shown off all that much in the trailer, and by the looks of things, is just a one-seater. So this plane will probably cost about $1.8 to $2 million, but do bear in mind that will be the standard price before you upgrade it. Of course, all the new aircrafts will be upgradable with the option to fit maybe additional weapons and other upgrades such as armor and so on. Moving on though to the next aircraft. Now again, we don't have an official name for this one, but it was featured an awful lot throughout the trailer, so it will most likely be one of the more popular ones in this update. It's based upon the Russian MiG-15, which was first in production in 1947, and at the time was one of the fastest and most agile aircrafts in production. So I'd imagine it will also be one of the more agile and faster planes in game, and of course it's also jet powered, as you guys can see. This plane is also a one-seater like most jets, but you guys can see on the side it does have machine guns. Now, I'm not too sure if there will also be a rocket upgrade for this. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but I'm guessing it will also be customizable, having options like that to fit to it. For example, taking a look at the same plane that featured in the first scene of the trailer, you guys can see it doesn't have those machine gun turrets, so that will definitely be one of the upgrades available for this aircraft. Now, one thing worth bearing in mind when it comes to buying these aircrafts, there will probably be 2 options, those being the buy it now price and the trade price. So basically, in the last few updates, you've had the option to purchase the aircraft straight away or at a cheaper price if you complete the associated mission to it first. Now, of course, we can't say this feature will be in the game for definite. I guess we'll have to wait and see, but it is more than likely. And with that in mind, I'd imagine this will cost around about $2.8 to $3 million, and the buy it now price might be slightly more. Moving on though to the third plane, this also being one that featured quite a few times throughout the trailer. Now, it's based upon the P-51 Mustang, which is a US World War II plane. And this particular plane also featured in GTA San Andreas as well, and was named the Rustler. So it will most likely also have the same name, or at least something similar, when introduced into GTA 5. Now, from what we can see, this plane is also highly upgradable. It will have the option to drop bombs, it also fires rockets, and I believe it also has a machine gun turret on it as well. And it's shown in the trailer mostly fighting against the P996 Laser, which of course is one of the faster jets in game, which may suggest this one is also pretty fast and fairly agile. So with all of that in mind, it's most likely going to cost around about $2.2 to $2.5 million. Up next is a helicopter this time, this being the Hunter Attack helicopter, or as it's known as in real life, the Apache Attack helicopter. Now, of course, this one in particular was supposed to feature in GTA 5 upon the initial launch. It was in the beta version of the game. It can be seen in the initial trailers for GTA 5, but for some unknown reason was cut and removed from the game before the launch. Well, finally, with this update, it's going to be released into the game, and will most likely offer a better alternative to the Savage, which in-game is currently $2.6 million. So I'd imagine the Hunter will probably have a price tag of around about $3.5 million. Then we have this plane up next, which might have as many as 5 seats. Not just that, it also drops bombs by the looks of things, and as you can see on the top, also has a turret which a passenger can operate. Now supposedly this is based upon 2 planes, those being the Lockheed 12A Electra Jr. and the B-25J, but I'd imagine this plane will have a price tag ranging between $2 million and $2.5 million. Up next is this aircraft, which only featured twice in the trailer, but is supposedly based upon the Sunderland bomber, which in real life can land on water. Now we aren't too sure whether this one can, but as you guys can see on the front, it has a machine gun turret, which I'm guessing the pilots can operate, and it also drops bombs as well. Now this next aircraft was also shown just twice throughout the trailer for just a few moments. The first time it was shown in this scene, the Rockstar Games Presents scene, it looks pretty big, and at first was believed to be based upon the C-130. But the second time it was shown was in this scene right here, dropping a crate, and as you guys can see, it is nowhere near as big as a C-130 or the Titan in-game. So it's possibly just a smaller version of the AC-130, and the reason why it's the AC-130 and not the C-130 it's based upon, because as you guys can see on the underside, there appears to be a turret, which I'm guessing the passenger can operate. I'm also pretty sure this plane will have a huge role in this update as well. It could potentially be one of the more used ones, and if that's the case, it could cost upwards of $3 million. After this, we've got another helicopter. I believe this one will be the smallest one in-game once available, and is supposedly based upon the Helisport CH-7 in real life. Now, it's just a small one-seater. It also appears to have an upgradable turret as well, which you can fit to the front of it. If you guys take a look at this second image where it's shown off inside the hangar, there is not a turret on the front of it like there is in the first image. And as shown off in the trailer, it has the option to drop crates as well, so there might be an upgrade which allows you to pick up and drop crates with it, but I'm not too sure on that one. Now, I'm pretty sure this will start off at a fairly cheap price, at around about $1.2 million, but with all these upgrades, could make it pretty expensive, costing well over $2 million. And of course, we can't forget about the small little trike paramotor, which I'm pretty sure in real life is known as the Micro Light Trike. Although in real life these aren't that expensive, this is GTA 5. It will still be one of the cheaper aircrafts available in this update, but it will probably cost around about $800,000 to purchase before any upgrades and so on. Now, from what we can see in this trailer, it probably won't be all that upgradable. In fact, it may not even have any turrets on it, and will probably just be a one-seater. Then there's this tiny little microplane, which didn't feature in the trailer anywhere, but was briefly teased on the newswire in an image, and as you guys can see, this thing is absolutely tiny. In fact, it's so small, someone might not be able to fit in it, and it might just be an RC plane, but in real life, it looks very similar to the Vought F4U Corsair, which is a lot bigger than this one, but the wings are certainly very similar to this one in the image. It will most likely be one of those planes just inserted for fun. It won't really be all that useful, customizable, or weaponized, and for that reason, it'll be the cheapest one in-game with a price of just $600,000. Now, although this next one, the Skylift, is already in GTA 5, it's never been available online, especially to purchase, and with this update, the fact that it's featured in the trailer certainly suggests we might finally have the option to buy it. Now, it will be very similar to the Cargo Bob, but will only have the option to pick up crates by the looks of things. It will certainly be very limited, and bearing in mind the Cargo Bob can be bought for $1.7 to $2 million, depending on which version you purchase. This, though, will probably be expensive, still costing around about $1.2 to $1.5 million. And one final aircraft, which again isn't new in GTA 5, but you still can't buy online, is the P996 laser. And who knows, in this update, we might finally get the option to purchase it. Bearing in mind, the Hydra, which is better than this, costs $3 million after completing the heist, otherwise it costs $4 million. I'd imagine the P996 laser, if an option to buy this ever becomes available, will probably be around about $2 to $2.5 million. So those were all the aircrafts then. Let's move on to the two cars. Now, the first one which Rockstar teased, not in the trailer but on the cover art for this update, is this vehicle right here, which looks very similar to the Warrener, which is already in GTA 5. But if you guys watched my previous video, which I would recommend going to watch by the way, there will be a link in the description, it is a completely different vehicle. In fact, this one is a Vapid, whereas the Warrener is a Volcar. And with that in mind, this car will probably be very similar priced, but based upon inflation, because we're now in 2017 and the Warrener was first released in 2014, it will be slightly more expensive, but then again it will probably be slightly better and have more customization options. So I'm going to guess this car will have a price of around about $250,000. And then as for the second car, now this one was not announced, confirmed, or even teased by Rockstar, but instead it was leaked by GTA experts on Twitter yesterday. Now we can't confirm this is definitely a real car, or whether it's going to be released on day one or in a few weeks time during a special event. I guess all we can do is wait for some more information on this one, but if this is a real car and is coming to GTA Online in this update, it could possibly be one of the new fastest cars in the game. And because it looks so cool in this image, I'm going to estimate it will have a price tag of about $2.5 million. Now although Rockstar have confirmed there will be a few other cars than these, they haven't announced or teased any others. In fact, it's more than likely we won't get any cars released on day one, and they'll all be released during the following weeks after the update during special events, but I guess on that one we'll have to wait and see. Moving on though to the final bit of content in the update, that of course being the hangars, which for the first time ever will have the option to purchase. Now do bear in mind, because these are commercial properties, they will be expensive. In fact, if we compare them to the gunrunning bunkers and some of the other warehouses in-game, I'd imagine they'll start off at about $1.5 million and cost upwards to $5 or $6 million based upon their location, what upgrades you fit to them, and of course the amount of space inside. Also, do bear in mind, these hangars won't just be used for your personal aircraft storage, but they'll also be your cargo storage areas too, as you can see in this second screenshot. So there we go then guys, that's pretty much it then for this video. That's all the new content we know about so far, and the estimated price list for all the items. Now of course, if you guys have any different ideas or suggestions on what this stuff will cost, of course let me know by leaving a comment on this video. Overall though, it will most likely cost upwards of $25 to $30 million to purchase all the new items and fully upgrade them, which yes is a lot of money, but do bear in mind, in comparison to the gunrunning update, is slightly cheaper. The gunrunning update cost around about $40 million to purchase all the items and content from the update. But like I said, I want to get your thoughts and feelings on this, so definitely go ahead and leave a comment. If you guys could also drop a like as well, it would of course be greatly appreciated, and it helps me out a lot. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you do, because I upload all the latest and the greatest Grand Theft Auto 5 content. So as always guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.